Dr. Great Art's short podcast of fun art info.
Hi, this is Mark Staff Brandl with the 83rd Dr. Great Art Brief Podcast, this time also as a webcomic and a video. This episode is titled Graphic Flash Memoir Vignette 4, Meeting Daniel Ammann. This is the audio and video version of the fourth of a series of auto-bio-vignette webcomics, a flash-lit type piece, as sequential art, and a podcast, and a video. You can see the original comic on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, Spoutable, or at the new blog site I made for them. Brandl Flash Memoir Vignettes, all one word, .blogspot.com. Here is the fourth one. Graphic Flash Memoir Vignette 4, Meeting Daniel Ammann. On the 15th of September 1988, I first met Daniel Ammann, soon thereafter to become my best friend in Switzerland and a constant inspiration as discussion partner and collaborator. I had followed my sweetheart Cornelia back to her country of Switzerland from the U.S. We lived at first with an old friend of hers, Ursi, who had a breakfast inviting people, especially Daniel, because, quote, we were both intellectuals and spoke English, end quote. As is common in Switzerland, after eating, a group of us went for a walk. Daniel and I, in the breakfast and during the walk, did indeed hit it off, with many of the same interests, including literature, theory, culture, the arts, etc., and especially metaphor. We ended up in many exciting, deep discussions, writing theoretical articles together, working together on some of my art, and much more from then through today. As an aside, all the artwork series by me done with the collaboration of Daniel, which are mentioned here, will be featured in upcoming Flash Memoir Vignette webcomics of their very own. He was also my best man when Cornelia and I got married in Mogelsberg, 27th of January, 1989. Daniel was finishing his PhD dissertation at that time at the University of Zurich. David Lodge and the Art and Reality novel. Daniel was interested in modernism, anti-modernism, and postmodernism in literature and all forms of metaphor as part of that. He was at the Englishist seminar in the English department. I did a portrait of Robert Burns with the then newish McPaint for their bulletin. He also got me involved with his group of literature people, the Swiss Burns Society, a great group including Urs, Tam, Reto, Jörg, Michael, and others, 4 of whom became the author group Roman Schunze. They gave a reading at a vernissage of an exhibition of mine in the Kunsthaus Richterswil, Peter Noser's art space, a show of my metonymic artworks. I was already interested in metaphor, specifically cognitive metaphor, having devoured the books by George Lakoff and Mark Turner, while freeing my mind from the numbing hegemony of deconstructivist thought then dominant in the visual art world. I learned so much more about trope and the various metaphors from him, and that inspired my series of metonymic paintings, as I titled them, which were based on visual embodiments of metonymy, synecdoche, and metalepsis. 1992 to 2003. And ultimately the inspiration with Noel Carroll, George Lakoff, Philip Ursprung, Harold Bloom, and Mark Turner for my PhD dissertation at the University of Zurich in 2011, and my philosophy book from Bloomsbury Press, A Philosophy of Visual Metaphor in Contemporary Art, 2023. Daniel went on, after earning his doctorate as a freelancer, to Hoffmanns Verlag, doing a David Lodge translation, the Pestalozzianum, to do research, which emerged in 2002 at the Zurich University of Teacher Education, where he became a professor and a writing consultant. We both wrote scholarly essays, for example, for a Festschrift book for Christian Dölker titled Medienlesen. Daniel continued on as an author, editor, theoretician, completing his first novel, H.C., in 1992, winning a prize for his short story, Caledonia, in 1992, and grants for other publications. Another later great book by him is Der weiße Schatten und andere Geschichten in 2018. In 1992, I had a mid-career retrospective at the University of Rochester, New York. Daniel accompanied me to the opening. There we had a great time with my childhood friend, Dr. Thomas Emil Holmgren, as well. In art, Daniel and I authored various analytic essays, including Beyond Like and As in Images, Metonymy and Metaphor in Some Recent Art, for Donald Cuspitt's journal, Art Criticism. He wrote and writes the most exciting texts concerning my art for each exhibition, many collected in the book Covering Brandl in 2020 from Magoria Press. We also did an extremely complex artist's book in a large stone lithographic leporello with cutout areas, text, and sequential abstract images, titled Das Auge der Verfolgung, done from 1998 through 2001, for which I won a grant. Also, he was deeply involved in many other series, creating or co-creating many of the textual word plays in the some 500-plus covers paintings by me, and we have done comics together. We continue to discuss, do our own work, and collaborate on works, with many ideas for the future. Now the political pamphlet mini-segment. My favorite idea, attacked by U.S. right-wingers as leftist, is that everyone should be able to eat, have an affordable place to live, get cheap or free education, have cheap health insurance and health care, and enjoy art and literature in public institutions. That was Dr. Great Art Podcast episode 83, titled Graphic Flash Memoir Vignette 4 Meeting Daniel Ammann. Thanks for listening and or viewing. If you wish to hear more cool, exciting, and hopefully inspiring stuff about art history, art, visual metaphor, and politics and art, come back for more. Also, I, Dr. Mark Steff Brandl, artist and art historian, am available for live custom performance lectures in English und auf Deutsch within painting installations. You can find or contact me at www.drgreatart.ch, www.marksteffbrandl.com, or find me on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, Spoutable. Thank you.